Good morning, Joe.
Yep. Okay, yep. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Joe. How are you doing today, Joe?
I'm fine. I'm fine. A little bit sleepy.
Okay. Gosh, we haven't hung out very much lately, Joe.
No.
No, you've been a
No.
busy bee.
I've been working at the comic shop.
Been working at they're moving, right? You're helping them move?
Yeah, oh yeah. I demolished let me think. I tore down like a chapel inside the building. There was like a little chapel thing and I ripped it apart.
So you're saying in their old location or in their new location?
Yeah, new location. They're moving into a church.
Okay. That now we have like two comic book shops within a 20-mile radius that are inside churches.
Well, it makes sense. It makes sense because like nobody actually goes to church anymore, so there's just like a bunch of these big empty buildings like sitting around. So you could like stick comic books in there or like gay porn or whatever
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want.
Joe,
Yeah.
that sounds a bit like a joke.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds a little bit like a joke.
Okay.
We're still waiting for Mr. Ziegler, who has a bit of a surprise for you. But you and I talked a little over a week ago, and what was the assignment I gave you for episode 38 of The Man with No Brain, Joe?
Write down 30 minutes of stand up.
Yeah, yeah. How are you doing on that?
I think I've got it. I've got like pages and pages of new stand up.
Really?
I got it. I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Here comes Mr. Ryan Matthew Ziegler. Let's see what he has to say.
Okay.
Well, basically, it comes down to this, Joe. There are still some lingering feelings, some lingering hurts from what you did that caused a certain trial. We still, and maybe it's our fault, maybe it's our shortcomings, but we just can't seem to shake some of the feelings that perhaps we can't trust you or your comedic styling. So therefore, that is the big reason, the impetus behind we want you to do a 30-minute set of brand new, never before heard material, and we're going to judge it. We're going to judge it. We're going to rate it. It's almost like who America's Got Talent. It's Grand Ridge's Got Talent with one contestant, and that contestant is you. So we're gonna judge it. It's not just a 30 minutes comedy set. We're gonna critique it and tell you what we think is good and what we think is maybe bad, maybe not, what we don't like. And so it's not just trying to make us laugh, Joe. It's also trying to prove to us once and for all that you are indeed deserving of the moniker comedian.
Okay.
How does Sleepy Joe feel about all that?
Well, I mean, first of all, I thought the whole trial thing was over because
Well, we haven't done the live stream yet. Technically,
Yeah.
you have not paid restitution to all the people you owe it to yet. So that's the lingering feeling, Joe. It's still with us. Every morning I wake up and all I hear is
you haven't been made whole yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seems so funny, right? It's so funny.
Well, Joe, you told me before Ryan got in that you have pages and pages. So are you feeling as confident as you were then?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, I wrote down like a bunch of new jokes. So let me see.
Have you timed yourself rehearsing them?
No, I don't. So I don't know how long it is.
Well, you should probably try and do that once at least, is just rehearse her a little bit. Actually, Joe, why don't you share with us one of your jokes? Why don't you select one of the jokes that you're going to perform for us tomorrow?
Oh, okay. One of the good ones. Let me see.
Well, I hope they're all good.
Okay, here. I got one. So I wrote some of it like it's kind of like live at like a stand-up kind of thing. So sometimes I interact.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So any of you guys a big fan of drinking?
Woo!
I don't mind the whole falling down or vomiting thing, but my bladder seems to fill up very fast. Here's a couple different ways to get away with pissing in public. If you pop the trunk of your car and make it seem like you're looking for something, you only get a little bit of urine on your plates. If you're in the movie theater, a nacho tray can hold almost a full bathroom trip in it, and it's so dark that all you have to do is time the zipper noises to something loud and stupid happening. if you're in a swimming pool, don't waste time using a restroom like some kind of sucker. Start thrashing around and screaming about sharks. No one will notice the yellow tint around near your swimsuit.
Is that the conclusion?
Is that the sample?
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
All right, Joe. All right. Well, it's 30. I mean, I'm not going to start critiquing it right now. I'm just saying,
Okay.
There's got to be some storytelling in there. We're talking a half-hour special, essentially. This is like when a comedian who's been doing the rounds and has been getting some heat. He's been at the Comedy Store, and people know who he is. He gets that half-hour special, that HBO half-hour special. And that's a 30 minutes where not only is it going to be funny, but the audience is being introduced to this person, getting to know this person. It's not just rat-a-tat-tat jokes necessarily. But you know what? At the end of the day, though, this is your 30-minute special. So if you want it to be rat-a-tat-tat-tat jokes, set up punchline for 30 minutes straight, that's a hell of a task. And, but if that's what you want to do, Joe.
Yeah. I'll have to see. I'll have to kind of see.
Have you timed out anything that you've written so far?
No, I haven't. No.
You haven't practiced your set yet?
No.
Okay.
Well, Joe, so you've got, let's see, you've got 26 hours to get prepared. Okay. So
we're recording it like
2 o'clock. 2 o'clock tomorrow. You got an extra hour than you thought you had. So that would be a great time to test that. So remember, all original new stuff. Okay. And
stuff we haven't
I know
heard.
I don't need to say this. I know Ryan doesn't need to say this, but obviously stuff that is your material and it's doesn't come from anybody else. Okay.
Oh, I know that. Yeah, because I've never stolen a joke in my life.
Okay. Well, Joe, I applaud you for taking up this challenge. I look forward to seeing the epic conclusion to it. But just know that Ryan and I's hearts are in this. We're going to be coming at you pretty hard. If you let us down, letting the man with no brain down, letting the fans down.
I don't believe I ever let the fans down. The fans love Joe Buckley.
Well, there's some comments that say otherwise, Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
Okay, well, not everybody can be entertained by the same thing. So.
Well, as you have said in the Out of Context Joe Buckley collection, not everybody can be perfect.
So, real quick, you're going to a wedding then this afternoon?
Oh, yeah. Yep, I'm doing that.
Who's getting married?
Just a cousin. I'm going to go be snapping some pictures for him.
There's a lot of cousins there. There's a lot of cousins in the Buckley regime.
We probably got like 30 of them.
Well, I mean, that's fine. That's good. Well, I'm just saying, because maybe tonight when everybody's kind of loose and had a few drinks and they're fed and have had dessert, you know what I mean? Maybe that's a good time to try out some of your material on whoever you're sitting with.
Oh, and Joe, I fully expect at least one wedding joke tomorrow, because you're going to be out there, you're going to be around people, you're probably going to see something, and you're going to be like, oh, wait a minute. Hey, you know how at the wedding, when the uncle gets drunk and makes a speech, sometimes it sounds a little bit like this.
Yeah. Did anybody else's uncle just read 8 pages of Mein Kampf at the wedding?
I'm sorry I laughed at that.
Joe Buckley.
No, it's funny. It's fine.
But no, I mean, Tyler's got a good point, though. You're going to be seeing a lot of stuff that is relatable. Wedding. Everyone's gone to a wedding or had a wedding or been in a wedding, etc. So maybe there's some observational humor that some stuff you'll see that filtered through the Joe Buckley mindset that could be some good material.
Watch, there's 25 minutes of his stand-up is just wedding material.
Yeah.
It's just the feeling of being surrounded by happiness you'll never know.
No, I'm never going to get married. Absolutely not. I don't believe in it.
We'll do a joke about that. Why won't you get married?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you ever notice at a wedding, people are always happy?
Yeah. Did you ever notice at a wedding?
That's the joke.
Yeah, that's the Seinfeld. I was waiting for Joe to do his Seinfeld. That was trying to set him up because he how much his disdain for Jerry Seinfeld.
Okay. Did you ever notice at a wedding how they serve airline food? Don't you guys hate airline food? Well, that's on par with his humor. That's
what I was looking for. Whenever Joe does his
hate.
Jerry Seinfeld, that's what I was trying to set him up for. Good job, Joe. You came through.
All right, Joe.
Thank you.
Well, I got to go purchase a red carpet, Joe. a literal red carpet.
Oh,
So
okay.
for
boy.
your ass, by the way. So so
I will not be rubbing my ass on it like a dog with his swelling ass glands.
we'll see.
I will be respectful.
But anyways, Joe, we will see you in 26 hours and 5 minutes, and we expect 30 minutes of good original Joe Buck comedy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this shakes out.
Let me tell you, I've been working hard. I just bought $100 of edibles, and I haven't got to eat any of them yet.
Why don't you just pound about half of them before you go on go on live on the podcast?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Take about an hour to kick in.
All right. Well, guys, it was
Well,
good to
perfect.
see you. Ryan,
You as well.
always a pleasure with you. Joe, that remains to be seen.
Yeah, we'll find out
Always a
tomorrow.
pleasure with Joe.
Always pleasurable with Joe.
Yeah.
That's the name of your set.
Yeah. Oh, you got to come up
maybe.
with a title. You should come up with a title.
Yeah, since it's
Oh,
like
okay.
a half hour, since this is essentially
Yeah.
like a half-hour special, so it's
We're the
yeah.
Netflix execs. All right. We want gold.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll put in some more if it's for Netflix.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. But see,
Oh.
that's a joke.
All right. See you later, guys.
Bye.
One is a grown man with an encyclopedic knowledge of cinema. The other, a man-child raised by the more questionable corners of the internet. What happens when they each dive into something the other one loves? Find out on
The Man with No Brain.
Joe Buckley's penis shrinking in progress.
Absolutely not. That's never happened.
All right, hey everybody, welcome to The Man with No Brain, episode number 38. I am your host, Ryan Matthew Ziegler, and as always, I am joined by the man with no brain himself, a comedy extraordinaire, or we'll find out anyway, Mr.
Okay.
Joseph Robert Buckley. How you doing, Jerry Seinfeld Senior?
Okay,
Junior?
so
The third?
I have used my massive brain. I wrote a whole bunch of jokes. I got them ready to go. I'm gonna be doing some stand up for you guys, and I think you'll enjoy it.
So the audience will have already heard our little recording from yesterday. So they know what's on the table. My question to you, Joe, is: did you time yourself?
No, I haven't. I'm not sure of the time.
Oh.
Is that bad?
30 minutes, dude. 30 minutes.
You have to do 30 minutes of stand up. And it's funny that the subject is being brought up. Coincidentally, I was watching an interview with some comedians, guys I hadn't even really heard of. But they were talking about how when they were on with Bob Saget, actually on a tour with him years ago, and they were given like, okay, you get 5 minutes, you get 6 minutes, this guy gets 7 minutes, and they would be honing it because if they went a few seconds over, that's real bad form. And they may not get asked again.
Okay.
And so they would time themselves to make sure that they could do all the dramatic pauses, do all the, do the best set that they could, but also make sure it doesn't go over the very specific time frame. So yes, Joe, it would have been, I feel in your best interest to have done your routine, done your act.
I did it in
and
front of
found out-
Tad.
Well, you might as well
Now,
do
let
it
me
in front
tell
of
you about
a
Tattles.
wall. I mean,
No, well, Tad really enjoyed it. I did
but
some
we're
of
talking
it
about
in front of him.
okay, and that's fine. But we're talking about the timing.
But
Yeah,
also,
so
Okay,
you
yes, that's true.
don't forget, Joe, we're coming at you from the perspective of two gentlemen who feel they are owed restitution
Mhm.
due to you dragged us through a lengthy trial.
Yeah.
Wait, I drug everybody?
I
I wasn't the one who started the trial.
Well, you're the only one on this
you
podcast currently who
you did the crime.
who has done drugs on camera. So yes, you did drug us through it.
Mhm.
And I couldn't edit for months, Joe. I was weak.
Oh, okay.
I was emaciated from the emotional turmoil I was
and
feeling.
I didn't bring you the chicken yet. You needed the chicken. So I'm
I
sorry.
need
I'm
the-
sorry.
Joe, if I need it any day, it's today because I'm fucking under 190. And like for the first time in
Yeah.
6 years, I'm fucking
Congratulations.
dying. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan.
I know I know it's a hard thing. It's hard.
I'm at a
So-
cool 260.
Well, Joe was just telling me how his shirt didn't fit. Jesus, Joe. Show us the tag. Show us the tag. What's the tag?
I don't know where it is. Let me see.
It's probably right. It's probably tucked underneath one of your nipples. Oh, actually, you're kind of doing this. I'm surprised.
Where is it?
I don't think you'll be able to get the camera to focus on it. It's too small. But I'm impressed. I'm impressed you're able to get the tag in general on the camera.
Man,
but, hey, I saw that man with no brain on the back. Show the audience.
Show the shirt.
This makes me feel a little bit better.
God damn, my face is huge on your body.
Look at him go. God, what an ape.
I don't know how I feel about that. Now that I see it in action on a person, on Joe, more or less.
It's like Joe's nipples are firmly holding his head in place.
Yeah,
there we go.
I mean, it looks good. It looks good. So everybody out there, if you're, get one for yourself. Holiday. It's not too early to start shopping for the holiday season. You know what I mean?
No, it's not.
Let's take a bet. If Joe's stand-up is under 30 minutes, everybody's got to buy a shirt.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, get one for your mother. Get one for your grandmother, your aunt, your great-grandmother, all the female members of your family. Get a shirt for them.
Hey, Halloween's coming up. Just that's all you gotta do is put that shirt on and go trick-or-treating. And someone says, "What are you dressed as?" And you're like, "Oh, I'm a man with no brain fan."
Mm-hmm. I'm the spookiest thing out there this October. A podcaster.
Okay. Now, Joe, we're off to a rough start here. I've got like a little spreadsheet here where I'm going to be grading you and these jokes on a scale. On a scale of Dave Chappelle to Carrot Top. Right now, you're heavily
Dave Chappelle. Give me Patrice
Top.
O'Neal. Give me Patrice O'Neal as the topper.
You see, we know how much you love Patrice O'Neal, but you haven't even seen all of Patrice O'Neal's material, so that's why
I listened to so much stuff of him on O&A. Hundreds of hours.
Okay, so
of him.
That's what it is. It's not even you haven't even watched his specials. Probably you just like him on Opie and Anthony, which is fine.
He's amazing on O&A. He's amazing. He's so quick. He's fast. Yeah.
Then watch his stand-up specials.
Yeah.
But that's like edited material. That's not off the top of his head.
What, this off the top of the head thing? God damn.
I mean, okay, Joe. Let's break this down.
I'm hot.
Real quick. Okay. One could say that a professional comedian is always on. So, for instance, yes, Norm Macdonald, rest in peace. I've been revisiting a lot of his best bits, and some of the funniest stuff, yes, he ever did was when he was on Conan, was when he was doing interview shows. However, he made his bones by being a stand-up comedian, and I think some of the best artifacts of his or any comic's life is their specials, is their stand-up. But yes, I would say that they're off the cuff stuff on shows because that's still entertainment. They're still on is important to their overall work. But man, you do need to watch their bread and butter, their stand-up.
I mean, the live stuff is the kind of stuff I'm into.
The live stuff,
but
you understand that his special is going to be what he's curated specifically. That's what he wants to show his fans. Like, he's not being censored. Fucking Louis C.K. did a pedophile joke on SNL, and that aired. Like, you can't really say that like, this isn't fucking Bill Cosby in the 60s. Hey, you know how kids are always acting up, and then all the white people in the audience go,
yeah.
And Joe, I grew up, and it's funny that I've never really attempted stand-up comedy. It's maybe because I'm scared to. Who knows? But I grew up a huge fan of stand-up comedy. I used to watch when Comedy Central, and this, again, I'm going to Rip Van Winkle, Old Man River myself. I remember when Comedy Central started, it was at that time it was just called the Comedy Channel. And they would do these things where if you turned on the channel at any time during the day, you would get, maybe it was a minute, maybe it was a minute and a half of random stand-up. It was you just get little bits. They would just show a random person, almost like a music video. It would have their name in the corner, but you'd get maybe a minute and a half. And I would watch that for days and weeks. I loved stand-up comedy. I used to sneak out to turn on HBO to watch Def Comedy Jam when I was a kid. I love stand-up comedy. The raunchier, the better, especially at that age. I was fortunate enough to go see George Carlin when he was touring.
Nice.
God, was it 2006 or 7? He was very ill at the time. He was when he was real, swole up because he was real sick for a while. But it was still, he killed it. Great set. Even though I'd heard all the jokes before because I'd already seen the special. But I love stand-up comedy. I love it. I have a lot of admiration for people who get on stage and are able to do it. And I follow the Comedy Store on Instagram. So I love that world of stand-up comedy. And it's a world that I wish I had the guts to attempt. So
Ryan,
so I really do.
I don't think Joe has the guts.
Well, I've done it a couple times. I've done open mic shit a couple different times. And, like, it's tough, because, like, a lot of your audience is very drunk. So they're not really paying attention to you. And also, a lot of your audience is very dumb. So it's like they can't really understand what you're saying.
I would pay good money to put Joe in a room with today's top comedians, because Joe would not filter himself. He would just be like, oh, yeah, guys, you know how it's real tough when you're out there and they're all drunk and they're not even listening to you, down at the Tangled Roots.
I know he speaks with such and this is part of the Joe Buckley lore and mythos and the larger than life character that Buckley is. He speaks again with such authority of things, but it's all from other people's anecdotes. I know I was there, Joe. I probably haven't been at every of the 4, maybe of open mics that you did, but that you can't really, I don't disagree with what you said. That probably,
you're not wrong. It's just you've done it like 3 times.
Yeah, heckling is part of it. But for you to
I've only done it a couple times, yeah.
For you to have such disdain for the stand-up comedy audience with no experience, fuck off with that.
And when you got laughs, so it's not even like they were being shitty to you. The stuff you said, you easily could have been booed off stage, but they didn't. They did not.
And I was standing next to Chad. I can't think of his name right off the top of my head
Michael Murray. Chad Michael Murray.
Yeah, Chad Michael Murray was
Chad Thundercock.
And but no, there was a stand-up comedian, and he was irritated. I remember it, not because he didn't like you, but because everybody liked you.
Yeah,
I feel he was irritated because he had been honing material, and then you get up there, and it was very obvious you were just kind of taking a piss, even though some of the jokes were ones I know. But the fact that you came up there and you did have, I will say this about you, Joe Buckley, for a guy that we know gets nervous about a lot of things. You walked up there with all the confidence of, George Carlin. You walked right up to that microphone at that open mic and you said your filth with no trepidation. And I remember admiring you at the time for that, because I was like, damn, Joe got up there and he fucking sold it.
Well, Ryan,
I was proud of you.
I think nervous is the right word. Joe isn't nervous right now because it's just you and me. And that's where he's getting, he's got this, I'm trying to talk like you. He's got this salty gristle where he's feeling hot, like he's got a handle on this situation. And I don't like that. And I think I'm going to do something about that.
Oh, okay. You're going to bring in your family. Oh, okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Joe.
Boxes just pop up.
Joe, I think,
all right.
I think it's time for you to really show your mettle to not only your peers, but some of your fans.
Okay, I'm 100%
look at
on board
Trevor.
with that.
Trevor is not happy right out the gate.
Oh, Joey, little Joey Buckley, here to entertain the masses.
Yep.
Look at this.
Does Nick have anything to say? Anything disparaging?
Well,
just do the right thing, Joe.
Okay. I will be doing the right thing. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So we've got other than myself and Joe and Tyler, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 guests that have come to the Joe Buckley 30-minute comedy special.
Zach Shaw was invited, but he gleefully declined. He said, "Fuck that noise."
He's gonna.
He had a battle royale game that was running a bit long on Twitch. He's been streaming for 4.5 hours, and
yeah, doing something he likes.
Yeah,
having a passion.
Fuck that guy.
A hobby.
Well, we've got some fans here. Old man Higgins in the house.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Joe, it's your second fiddle. I'm sorry, I mean your second mic over here. Here to listen to you.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, do you know what a fiddle is?
I think it's like a string instrument. It's very small, so it can fit up your ass if you want to. And you just kind of
Here comes the material. He's already using it.
Slow it down.
Yeah,
Joe.
don't blow through all your jokes here, buddy.
Okay, that was 3.5 pages I wrote down of just things in ass, like instruments you can put in
Joe
your ass.
wrote giant letters.
Yeah, he wrote everything in the balloon lettering like we used to write on our Trapper Keepers. Led Zeppelin, bro.
Oh, I did that for my book reports. Hell yeah, I had that shit out.
Triple space.
I just like big letters.
Finberg in the house.
Hi.
Hey.
Already not amused. Not interested.
Well, I'm sorry, Finn.
I don't know what to expect from Joe. And
what time is it?
hard it is to make a German person laugh. It's 9 p.m. right now.
Oh, okay. So I was worried.
not
it was
too
like
bad.
3. I was like, Joe, you're really gonna have to.
Oh boy.
Yeah, there's some sleepy Germans in here. It's 4 a.m. They've
No,
they've had a couple. They've had a couple like.
geez.
No,
I
I know.
You managed to make that sound like a slur somehow.
Sleepy
okay.
Germans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Joe, my
He
last
said,
name is Ziegler. Come on.
I understand, but he's had 3 glass boots full of the finest German beer. A little bit inebriated. That's okay.
He just everything Joe knows about Germany was just right there in that bit.
Yeah.
Looks, we got a My Little
Oh no,
Pony.
I know some other things about Germany, but I can't say them.
We got a My Little Pony fan in the house.
Yep.
Okay.
Chris, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Okay. Joe, you have any
All
thoughts
right,
on My
and
Little Pony? Crank out a joke, Mr. On the Spot.
Okay, I got no problem with bronies. I think out of the main 6, I think Pinkie Pie's the hottest because 1, she likes eating candy, so her
Is that a
breath probably
joke?
tastes sweet.
Saying Maine? Were you making a
Maine, yeah, that's what the brony community prefers to call them, the main 6.
How do you know all this?
Any opinions on Rainbow Dash? Or
Rainbow Dash a bit too uppity for my taste. I don't like her.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Morgan, Real SC, you guys got anything you want to say to Joe before he launches into this mess?
Just wanted to say I'm really glad to be here.
Why?
Oh yeah, nice. Did you hear? And he is getting a bucket load of entertainment for free, so he should be glad to be here.
Yeah.
Sure,
Buckload of something.
Yeah, there's bucket.
Poor
There's plenty
bastard.
of buckets. Yeah.
I
I knew you're
always
not
have,
paying for this.
It's a good way for me to procrastinate on my college work. So
Hey, I can't say any different.
So think about that, Joe. His future, his college education. He's put
It's
that
on the
aside.
line.
It's on the line for you to do 30 minutes of stand up. So you better deliver.
I understand. Yeah.
I hope it doesn't
Oh,
fall flat.
I would never. I have so many good jokes I wrote down here.
Yeah, I bet.
I've got a list. It's in a list form. It goes from top to bottom.
Okay, you've talked about lists before that don't actually exist. Is all of this in your head right now? Are you lying about this written down stuff?
I am not lying.
Show us the
lying. Absolutely
papers.
not.
Show
Prove
us the
it.
papers,
How
Buckley.
do
Buckley
how do-
papers. They've released
it
the
says-
Buckley papers from the
It
Pentagon.
says new stand up. Here, I don't want to spoil my jokes, but what I'm gonna do is
Okay, it's a Google Doc.
Yeah, it's a Google Doc.
I'll take your word for it because we're gonna watch your eyeballs. This video is gonna be on the episode. Okay, we're only gonna be looking at you.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know, maybe I'll put you in front of a brick wall or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Could I be like Doug Walker's The Wall review? That would be cool.
No.
No. Okay, I understand.
And Joe, before we start this, I'll maybe Tyler already has an idea, but I'm going to introduce you like an MC.
That's awesome. Okay.
Ryan, do you have any jokes you're going to start us off with?
Do I have any jokes? No.
Okay.
I'm just going to do straight. This is Joe's half hour. I don't want to steal from him, but
that reminds me. I need to get my timer out.
Hey, I was just wondering, while
very
Joe
good.
is trying to tell funny jokes, is it okay if we just blurt out some unrelated nonsensical or secular nonsense and just interrupt the flow of the whole thing and just
What's the
ruin
stance on
moment?
hecklers this evening?
Can we try that?
Well, Ryan is in charge. Ryan, I'll give you the floor here. You make the determination. Is there fan interaction?
I would say, to be fair to Joe, I'm not going to say no heckling, but I would ask that the heckles be kept to a minimum, just so we can indeed hear Joe's 30-minute.
Okay, because I wasn't sure
have
if
to
we were-
unleash the beast on you.
wasn't sure
I
if
might
we were-
have to.
if we were switching roles and we were being the Joe Buckleys and
Joe
we just
with no brain.
interject without thinking or
Hey,
Well,
that reminds me of my cum.
Yeah,
Jesus
the
fucking
shit that
Christ.
Joe would say.
I really hope this isn't
Come, Joe.
the quality. That's
Wow.
Yeah.
Get
You
ready.
just
Get
lost
ready,
the
boys.
Germans on this one, Joe.
Oh, okay.
Our international appeal is fading. Come on, Joe.
you better deliver now. You better
That's
deliver.
Yeah.
The whole
I'm gonna
thing's on
have
the
to
line.
appeal to the Australians. Maybe I'll punch a kangaroo and just really show them a thing or two.
God, I would love to watch a kangaroo kick your ass.
Yeah.
What a
And also
treat.
the one of the and again, if you feel something deep inside, and feel free to boo or groan just as you feel free to laugh.
Sure.
It is a comedy show, but I don't want. I'm worried that if there is too much heckling, Joe may latch onto that as an excuse.
Yeah. It's gonna turn
I
the
couldn't do my
tide.
30 minutes, or I couldn't because Joe is famous for making two things: mud and excuses. And
Can I do an example of what it would sound like? What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What? You don't like cum?
Yeah.
Ooh, Nick's already funny.
Oh,
I'm funnier.
you gotta tell us-
You got to
you
beat
gotta
my
tell us-
foot meter. We're all competing here. You gotta-
Yeah, I got a
think-
laugh meter back here.
I'm gonna go full atmosphere. I'm gonna have some lounge music playing when Ryan kicks us off. Maybe
Oh,
a
yeah.
little,
Okay.
the glasses clinking and stuff. So Ryan,
Okay.
if you want to kick this off, and then Joe, the moment you open your big yapper, I'm gonna hit start on this stopwatch and see how long it goes.
Okay. Could you add some like general ambiance of some girls farting in the background? I like that.
What are you performing this in like a Japanese like kaka?
Yeah, like a
porno?
bukkake center. Yeah.
Bukkake. Why bukkake?
A bukkake center?
Does a penis fart, Joe?
What do you mean a bukkake
Sometimes.
center?
Some people blow air into their penises like they're inflating like a
the,
clown's long balloon.
the Japanese Center for Bukkake Arts.
Yeah.
Is that some kind of
Prestigious.
riddle? Like, what is the sound of one cock farting?
Yeah.
Oh.
You're about to hear 30 minutes of it. So
Oh god.
Right.
Ryan, for the love of God, let's go.
I think it sounds like this.
Just heavy breathing into the mic.
when does the comedy start?
Never.
It has started. Everyone is laughing. Everyone's having a good
Oh
time.
yeah, we're having a
All right, Joe.
Go ahead.
All right, Joe, you're backstage. Here we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Comedy Club. Thanks for coming out tonight or this afternoon, Sunday afternoon. It's a lot of yucks. Make sure to tip your staff, tip the bartenders. But we have a comedian, a young, fresh-faced, bubby comedian making his debut on the stage here at the Comedy Club. He's going to be doing a 30-minute set. So, sit back, relax, and get ready for the comedic stylings of Mr. Joseph Robert Buckley.
Woo!
Yay.
Oh yeah.
Hey there, everybody. So, my name's Joe Buckley, and I'm gonna do a little comedy for you tonight. A little bit about myself. I'm 26 years old. I did 3 years of community college, and I'm a stay-at-home son. Yeah, thank you. I've been trying to make it big as a YouTuber, but I guess it's hard to get advertisers when you bring up your own cum as much as I do.
Oh.
Was that the
So-
joke?
That was yeah, audience member. I mean, if you got anything better, but you know what? I'll continue. I'll go on. So I'm also a practicing dudist. So I smoke a lot of weed, and I don't believe in paying my taxes. So.
We heard you.
Oh, is this thing on? Is this microphone on, people?
Oh boy. Actually, yeah, I would hold it a little closer, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Is this a
Yeah.
part of the act?
Shut up, old man! Shut your fucking old mouth, or I'll break your hip!
That wasn't
Pause
me.
right now.
Oh my god.
Security.
Pause right now, Joe.
Where's the
I want you to-
comedy?
I want you to take this seriously. You're on stage. There's no way in hell, I don't care what anyone said to you, if you were standing on stage, Joe, that you would yell, "Fuck you, old man." I know better than that.
Okay.
Pretend you're on the stage and barrel through it.
All right. So, I ended up getting my driver's license at the age of 23. Beforehand, my parents had to cart me around like an even fatter Miss Daisy. My life was also kind of similar to the movie because my dad kept rolling down the window and screaming the N-word. I haven't seen that film before. I just assume that's in there.
Jesus. Your poor father.
I'm going in hot, yeah.
Oh, poor Bob.
There's some more Bob material in here.
Well, all
So,
right.
yeah. So, I'm really good at archery. I can sometimes hit the board, and I've never shot my leg. I'm a little bit like Robin Hood if he also shoplifted a bunch and got high off aerosol cans. They actually let us do bow and arrows in high school, which wouldn't be odd except it was like 2010. There was already a new Columbine happening every single week by then. For some reason, the school thought it would be a good idea to give us things that medieval armies used to slaughter peasants with. I also shot arrows back when I was a Boy Scout. I was a fat kid, but now I'm a fat man, and I've never liked sports. To get a weapon in my hands, though, I'd go shit in the woods with a bunch of weird kids for a week. So, there was a lake. There was a lake over there with a bunch of water bugs in it. But in order to get in it, you had to pass a safety course. And that was kind of a pedophile scoutmaster's wet dream. In order to pass, you had to take your jeans off and try to blow into them to make a raft. I'm not making that up. So my brother, he's God bless him, he's an officially licensed EMT now. There's really only 3 types of calls he gets in this town: falls, heart attacks, or overdoses. Well, I guess there's also a fourth kind. They sometimes get a call from a very old man who's worried because he can't get his dick hard.
Yeah.
Was that a fart? Is someone out there farting? So, any of you guys a big fan of drinking? Any drinkers out there? Any hard drinkers?
Oh yeah, man, I can use a drink right now.
Yeah, all right. Settle down. So, I don't mind the whole falling down or vomiting thing, but my bladder seems to fill up real quick. Here's a couple different ways to get away with pissing in public. So, number 1, you pop the trunk of your car and you make it look like you're shuffling around looking for something. You're only gonna get a little bit of urine on your plates. Number 2, if you're in a movie theater, a nacho tray can hold basically a full bathroom trip in it. And it's so dark that all you have to do is time the zipper noises to something loud and stupid happening on screen. So, number 3, if you're in a swimming pool, don't waste time using a restroom like some kind of sucker. Start thrashing around in the water and screaming about sharks. No one will notice the yellow tint near your swimsuit.
Okay. That was good, Joe.
Thank you.
I think someone's
Wow.
All right.
I'm laughing at the audience laughing.
Fucking riding that wave 5
that's
seconds
fine.
after they're done.
Hey! No, I let the last continue. I let the last flow.
Even when they're dead. Gotta get every single last drop of that laugh.
I get it. The piss in that story.
That sounded like a relatability laugh. Mhm.
We all been there.
Yeah. Hey, urine, folks. Am I right? So when you think about it, hunting's a pretty fucked up sport. You have to throw a bunch of animal piss around you, and then you have to hide in a little shack like some kind of outdoor pest. A few hours go by, and a deer comes along with a raging hard dick because you tricked him into thinking he was gonna get laid, only for you to shoot him in the lungs. Imagine if you got a DM from a real hot lady saying she's ready to fuck you now.
That's no way.
But when you got into the hotel, some fat guy in an orange coat shot you in the kidney. It'd probably only take you about 30 minutes to bleed out just so he could put your head in his shack.
God. Jesus Christ.
So, did you guys know that Kellogg's actually had to stop using the Tony the Tiger mascot on Twitter? This is a big news. This is a big story. So furries kept messaging the company gay cartoon porn of their main squeeze. Picture Tony with his ass spread open with a big thumbs up saying, "It's gaped." Yeah. I do.
Furry. He said something about a furry. What's a furry? This is a comedy club with a lot of different kind of people.
Okay, well, a furry is basically a man, or very, very occasionally a woman, who puts on a fuzzy suit and a big animal head, and then they go to convention centers and they masturbate each other to completion for about 5 to 7 hours. They normally take Viagra to do this. And they get cum all over the fursuits, and then they don't wipe it up most of the time.
Is this
and that's
part
what a
of
furry
the
is.
act?
That was just a little bit of improv. That was just a little bit of improv for the people.
Hey Joe, what's your persona?
It's the Noid. My persona is actually the Noid from Yo Noid. So I do feel bad for furries, though. It would suck if every time you went to buy cereal, you came in your pants instead. I think it would be really... excuse me.
Joe.
I did not give you guys permission to go to the bathroom. You have to sit down.
I always knew you had a toilet built into that chair. I just never really believed it.
Why are you yelling at your audience for going to the bathroom?
Yeah, everybody.
They are supposed to be paying attention to me.
It's not
Absolutely
my fault
not.
that the bathroom was right next to the stage, so sorry.
I don't understand. This is a part of the act.
This is now a part of the act. You people sit down. You hold it. If you have to, you drink it.
You can't attack the audience like that.
Joe.
When does it get funny?
Don't make me come up there, boy.
Joe,
it would, huh?
No, fine. Go on. You're not picturing yourself on a stage. You're picturing yourself doing a podcast. That's the problem. There's no way you would yell at somebody like that.
But what if they really deserve it? What if they're ugly? I would yell at an ugly person.
I don't want to add to your 30 minutes, so go on.
Okay. So it would be really funny to see a furry meet up at Disneyland. A little kid would go up to hug his new dog friend and be met with a 3-inch erection poking out of a diaper.
A 3-inch erection?
3-inch. A 3-inch. I was measuring the penis.
Okay.
So I think
this is nasty. I don't like
this is
I
toilet
don't like
humor.
This humor.
This is sit-down comedy.
Well, I don't like the stand. I get winded. That's not my fault. I'm body positive. I think everyone's beautiful at every size.
I told you we should have went to Second City.
I told you we should have gone to Circuit City.
Yeah. You think the
they
people
don't have those no more.
If we leave now, do you think we can make it to the Applebee's before they close?
Well, you do not get your money back. That's mine now. I'm getting paid
Joe. You gotta power through it.
$14. I'm going.
No, my college homework is looking pretty good right now.
Oh, damn.
You're losing the audience.
I think.
Excuse me, everybody. Joe.
Excuse me.
I'm the MC, man. Hold on a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to give Joe Buckley a chance. I know he's, throwing out jokes that you don't understand the context of, because he takes all his jokes from the internet, but you stick with it.
The internet's only been around for 20 years. That's a hard concept to understand.
What's
the
been
internet.
around 20 years?
You still want to stand by what you just said, Ryan? Even though Joe just interrupted you?
I just, just stick with it. And Mr. Buckley, please quit yelling at the audience. They paid to be here. You're not the only comedian. The other comedians are getting angry. If you make comedians leave, or you make the audience leave, then they come out to a lesser audience. You're making the comedian in the back get angry.
Okay, I promise I'll be good. I'll be a good boy. I will not expose my penis to the audience. I will not expose my asshole to the audience. I'll be good from now on. So, I think at some point we should change the capital of this country from Washington to OB City. It'd be like one of those retirement communities, except you have to be over 400 pounds to live there. The good thing about it is that they also only have Mr. Pibb to drink. There'd be elevators inside every single building, and it would be illegal to serve any kind of ketchup except for Heinz.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't.
So,
I get it. I get that joke.
Thank you very much. So, I
What's
wonder.
wrong with other ketchup?
Not enough sugar. It's gross. I hate it.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm drinking a Mr. Pibb right now.
Yeah, good. You're one of the crowd. You're one of the community. So I wonder why the letter part of the post office still exists. It's really only used to mail spam and anthrax. My dad always bitches when I get packages, though. We're a quarter of a century into online ordering, and he still thinks it's somehow a scam. He puts his complete trust in the online pornography industry, though, because I've caught him beating off in the living room with his laptop like 4 times.
It's supposed to be new material.
Yeah,
That is new. That's new.
No,
I've mentioned that. I have mentioned that he's beat off in the living room before, but not that I've caught him multiple times.
Then.
It is new. I wrote it down. It's a new joke.
All right. Pause. Cite the specific recent example. God damn it.
It's always I open the door, I put my key in the latch, I unlatch it, and then he's basically his pants are unzipped, and sometimes I can hear the pornography, and then he just looks red-faced. He looks
every
like
day
he
when
got
I walk
caught.
into work, I say, "This is a new experience."
Let's just agree, Joe. That was a recycled joke. So please don't do it again.
Yeah. All right. Press and play.
Everybody's heard the walking on your dad beating it joke.
So, I don't understand how... Well, I'm just gonna move on.
Good,
sir.
Let's go. Good.
I don't understand how old people can be so brazenly proud of not understanding technology and refusing to try. They use the internet all the time to see if their nieces are dating any black guys, but they still barely know how to turn it on. It would be kind of like if someone grew up without cars, but they've been driving for the past 10 years, and they still call you to figure out how to use the left blinker. My grandpa, on the other hand, though, he figured that right away, because my grandma mentioned that he subscribed to the Big Asses group on Facebook and the notifications won't go away. Oh, okay, here's my version of a bar joke, okay? So there's these two guys at a bar, and they've been drinking all night watching the big game. One guy says to the other one that he's got the next round and goes to pull out his money. The other guy says, "Hey, what's all that lunch meat doing on your billfold?" He says, "That's my ham wallet." You get it? It's a slang for a big pussy.
Oh.
Good job.
God,
Why are you taking a call in the middle of this show?
I'm sorry, it was very important. My doctor. I'm sure it was my doctor.
It was $25 to get into this club. Jesus.
And you do some improv here, Joe. What'd your doctor say?
So he said, I have a huge problem. So I have the biggest penis he's ever seen in the 35 years he's been practicing. All the blood flows down into my penis. It doesn't get into my brain, so that's why I sometimes struggle with things I say. But
so
yeah,
then
no,
why
I
do you
mean,
have an erection right now?
Well, because, like I said, I was talking about my penis, and that got me a little bit hard. So it's not fully hard yet, but it is getting turgid.
Jesus Christ, Joe.
Turgid.
Just like this comedy act.
Yep.
No, this comedy act is good. All right, so
do the next joke.
Hold on. What's the time? What's the time looking like?
Well, it's at 12 minutes and 34 seconds, but really probably about 4 to 5 minutes of that has
absolutely
been
not. Absolutely,
nonsense.
I've been working the crowd. I've been making them laugh. Yeah, comedians do that.
Prove it.
I'm basically a night walker here. I'm basically a night walker in the comedy club.
What's a night walker?
just a prostitute.
Oh.
You know, a lady of the evening.
A street
Yeah, streetwalker.
Okay, a night walker. I thought that was something from, I don't know, Game of Thrones or something.
Okay, let's look at a night crawler.
Or daywalker.
A zombie
okay.
thing.
Yeah. So a lot of people say that being an actor is easy. I'll concede that it's not the hardest job in the world, but I've never seen a hairstylist crawl around the dirty bar floor covered in dollar store lube making demon noises.
That's borderline new. Borderline.
Yeah.
Also, Joe,
I'll call that a workshop. He's workshopped this. He
because if you're
it up a little bit.
If you're playing the ha-ha hole in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, nobody knows that you're in a movie called Butcher the Baker, so nobody understands.
I understand that, but I was giving a little scene that was funny for the audience.
I get it. So if you were gonna go do a real show, I would talk about Butcher the Bakers. Like talk about, back home, me and my friends, we make movies, and I was actually in one of these, and it's about this and yada yada, and you like play up how silly it is, you play up all the goofy stuff you had to do, and then maybe that's how you end it, or work that into that story. So they do have that context.
So we're at 12 minutes.
I understand.
Let's just call it 12 minutes so far. 12 minutes.
I'm paused right now. I'm not running the clock.
What? I am working the crowd.
No, you're not. You're getting advice.
Yeah.
We
have all that, and that was my fault. I shouldn't have come. We'll give you that at the end.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's
this one time we were doing a mock cooking show with raw chicken. I was having a real good time shoving peanut butter and beets into it. But then I was told I had to taste it. I licked the raw chicken and then I swished hand soap around in my mouth a little bit. But actors are a real temperamental bunch. Daniel Day-Lewis pretended he was in a wheelchair for 3 months. When he'd shit or piss himself, an intern would have to wipe him down. Klaus Kinski once felt that some set people were making too much noise for him to sleep, so he fired his rifle into their tent and blew off someone's finger. Jared Leto, I think, is the worst, though. He wanted to be a real wacky, cool Joker, so he kept mailing dead animals and cum to his coworkers. So, I've signed up for this email thing that lets journalists solicit for experts. I think I'm an expert in a lot of different things, so I want to weigh in whenever people need sources. And basically, I saw that Cosmopolitan was looking for some new Halloween sex acts for October. So here's what I ended up sending them. This is the Jack-O-Lantern. So basically, you pleasure your partner next to a burning candle. Their favorite scent makes it all the better. Admire how the flame makes their penis bounce around the light. This one's called The Naughty Witch. Rub your lady friend's vulva with a plastic broom handle and see if she can climax without any penetration.
I don't want to hear you say that word.
Make sure not to use wood. Ouch, splinters. Netflix and chills. Ooh. So you gotta put on a real scary movie and mutually masturbate. You won't know if you're shaken with desire or with fright. All right, this move's called the sweet treat. So you put your partner's favorite piece of hard candy in your mouth and you enjoy it together.
What are you talking about?
I'm really disappointed I never got an email back from him. I was sad about that. So, I'm a really big fan of Magic the Gathering. It's this card game where we all sit in a circle and pretend to be wizards flinging spells at each other. There's a lot of flack thrown at us for being weird, but I think there's only a couple instances where we've looked bad. Some people choose not to bathe or change their clothes in the days leading up to a big tournament, but that's because the off-putting smell tilts their opponents for free wins.
Heard this before.
There was also an expose on Time.com where a player took pictures of himself posing next to some of the players' exposed ass cracks. It ended up splitting the community wide open and would become known as Crackgate. We also sometimes jerk off to the women on the cards, but that's because we admire their strength. I'm several $1,000s deep into my Magic collection, but there's no way the bubble's ever going to pop. This is completely unrelated. Have you guys ever seen that picture of the couple sorting their Beanie Babies in divorce court? What dumb suckers. So, has anybody here ever been to the zoo and thought like, oh hey, I could live pretty nice here?
No.
What, nobody has ever? Free housing. So you'd get a cave to sleep in, raw fish 3 times a day, and if you want to, you can pull a Silence of the Lambs and throw your cum through the bars.
I need to be outside to hear the crickets right now.
Okay. You wanna get into it? Yeah. Do you have any comedy?
No, Joe.
I didn't think so.
I came here for your comedy specifically.
Yeah, dude. I paid $50 to be here.
I thought can't spell joke without Joe, but no.
Exactly. You can't. That's exactly right. Thank you, sir. So, I've always wondered why Disneyland got its reputation as being a romantic getaway for couples. Think about it. There's a bunch of guys in rat suits running around. Little kids are screaming about ice cream. And there's actually a bunch of gators roaming around the park looking for water, and they accidentally snatch up a baby. There's actually been a lot of accidents at Disney, but luckily for them, no one's ever died at one of the parks. The EMT workers are forced to give resuscitation to the corpses, and then they pronounce them dead off the property. So that's nice of them. As a kid, I was really always, way behind in video game technology. The most current system I had was an N64 in, 2007. Newsflash, that console died around the same time as the second tower fell.
Ooh.
We finally ended up buying a PS... Oh, really? 20 years and it's too soon?
I told you on our podcast, don't make 9/11 jokes.
Okay.
Dude, and I'm in New York. I mean, come on.
Okay, I understand. Hey, you're in New York. You see the naked cowboy all the time. You see the guys in the Elmo suits trying to shake down tourists.
You're just listing things are associated with New York. Where's the comedy?
That was a joke. That's not a joke. Excuse me, MC Ryan. What's that?
I just got a notification from Amazon Kindle that says I can start reading an excerpt from the Halloween Kills novelization because I pre-ordered it, and I'm close to starting it.
Well, how about you put the kibosh? How about you put your kibosh on your slasher film novelization?
Kibosh?
And listen, kibosh.
Yeah, your kibosh.
Yeah. How about you listen to the guy who's pouring his heart out for you right now? Just pouring his heart.
So your heart is filled with dog erections?
I have only brought
your dad jerk off in the living room.
That's the last laugh of the whole show. See you later, folks. Thanks for
I don't think so. I've only brought up
coming out.
I've only brought up a red rocket once in this whole set. Oh, and also I have some euphemisms for dogs' genitals.
Some what?
Some euphemisms. Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. So how about? So this is for the penises. The underbaked breadstick, the fun dipstick, the miniature dash hound, the cherry lip smacker. All right, and then here's for the dog's vagina, the bottom snoot, the lady milk boner, and the front tail.
Why are you laughing at your own jokes?
I don't know.
Someone has to.
All right.
How is a dog vagina called a front tail?
I'm so sorry, but...
So we ended up buying a PS2 right around the time as the PS3 was out, and I was completely blown away. I remember playing the shitty pack-in ATV game and thinking, wow, this is the best that video games are ever gonna look. Nowadays, we have VR headsets where you can stick your wiener in a fleshlight and pretend that Miley Cyrus is playing with you.
Guy sure talks a lot about video games.
Well, you know what? I am a millennial. I enjoy video games. I enjoy pornography. I enjoy weed.
I'm gonna see if I can get us a refund on our tickets.
Did you know that diet gummy bears also function as a laxative?
Yeah,
Oh,
LAB,
because you've told us before.
and the LAB says
I don't
bacon
believe I
potato.
have.
You have mentioned them many times on this podcast.
They got the
Okay.
xylitol. It gives you the runs.
Yeah, it's the
So,
hard
okay, so occasionally, some poor fool will find out the hard way. One time a man brought in a 3-pound bag of them onto an airplane to share snacks with everybody. 3 hours in, people were shitting so hard that they broke all the toilets and had to ground the flight. The FBI had to question this guy like he was the Bin Laden of duty. So, you know, the whole incel thing is getting pretty big online, but I'm not part of that life. I only don't have sex because I choose not to. A lot of women expect you to shower every single day, but I'd rather download movies. Women also scare me because they might have teeth in their vaginas. The science still out on that one. So,
Wrap it up, fatty.
So here's some fat guy fast food tips for you. Those little cups they give you to put the mustard and shit in are never big enough. Use the large soda lid instead. If you put your thumb over the straw hole, the ketchup barely drips out. If you go to the movies a bunch, you can just dig a cup and bucket out of the garbage and have them refill them. Oh, also, if you bring one of those clear smoothie cups from Taco Bell back up to the counter, they'll assume you have Down syndrome and just give you a new one. So that's a little freebie right there.
Boo! Boo!
Oh, this isn't funny.
Boo on that.
No, I don't believe so.
That? Why would they assume that?
Because you're trying to refill the smoothie. It's not allowed.
Yeah, you could just be an asshole. You don't have to have Down syndrome. You could just be an asshole for doing that.
I don't believe so. I think they would think that you're not reading the situation correctly.
Boo.
All right, so I've been working in a comic shop for a little bit. Did you guys know that those things are still around? Yes, I have.
Someone needs to take you to the comic shop and get you fixed. Comic.
Put him up on the list.
God damn.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm some kind of faulty automobile and you're just playing around with my dipstick, is that right?
That's exactly the joke. Nice.
Okay.
Hey, Joe, everybody's trying to get a refund and no one's drinking. They're all sober and very upset. If you don't start getting funny here, we're gonna have to cut you off, okay?
Oh, I'm supposed to be drunk for this?
It's nothing personal, buddy. It's just not going well.
Do you guys even want me to do the set? Do you even want me to keep doing
How
comedy?
many more pages you got up there, buddy?
I've got 1 page. I've got half a page left.
All right,
Let's
let's crank through this so we can get these people drunk and happy again.
Woo! Okay. So, you know, I've been working in a comic book shop for a little while. Did you guys know that those things are still around?
Yes.
We're actually... Yeah, okay. So we're actually moving it into a church. We're basically just swapping out Jesus for Aquaman. We're just trading one dead pastime for another. The store's actually been having a big problem with...
dead?
No, a dead religion. It's a whole dead pastime.
What?
I get
Well,
it.
Aquaman, yeah. Aquaman's also like shirtless and gay, so he's a lot like Jesus in that way. I'm just making like a little like analogy.
I thought this would be a good thing to do on our weekend together. I'm sorry.
It's a Sunday.
This is a good thing to do on your
Talking
weekend.
bad about the Lord. It's a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. We do have a prop comedian up next, so there'll definitely be something to watch.
Lots of great puppets coming up next.
Gallagher Jr.'s coming now, and he's gonna just smush his face into a block of cheese. That'll be real funny for you fucks. You dumb fucks.
Woo, Gallagher Jr. Bring him out.
So, the store's actually been having a big problem with broken chairs. Fat guys keep leaning back and busting out the metal backs. I don't know why chairs don't have a 600-pound weight limit for a baseline anyway. We're about 20 years away from WALL-E as a baseline for humanity, and about 30 years away from the climate change holocaust that'll wipe most of us out. You know, though, the good news is that Pogs are actually going to be the new global currency, and they'll end up the new Jeff Bezos.
Back on Pogs
You'll be able
again.
to buy 10 gallons. You'll be able to buy 10 gallons of drinking water for just one Buffy the Vampire Slayer bog, and a metal slammer will let you fire a rocket launcher at a goat.
Pog or bog? You've said both.
I know what a bog
Pogs.
is. It's a bog.
It's a pog. It's a small cardboard disc with fun characters on them, like Garfield.
We know.
You dumb people remember Garfield,
You've
right?
made jokes about Alf Pogs in the past. We know.
Well, that's a different pog joke. People can have more than one pog joke, can't
So
they?
if I ask my
Yeah, those
granddaughter,
are the Pog jokes he stole from The Simpsons.
so if I
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So if I ask my granddaughter, who's in junior high, what a pog is she gonna know? Is she gonna tell me?
No, she would probably say, "Sorry, Grandpa, I'm too busy on Instagram looking for hot dicks to suck."
It's TikTok now.
If
So,
I
you
have
know,
to hold my piss any longer, my wee-wee will hurt.
Well, like I said, that's completely fine to say. I think that's a fine catchphrase. But like I said, take my advice, piss into your nacho tray, and most of it will keep in the container.
Call back or just treading water? I'm not sure.
So thank you guys very much for being a great audience. You know, you barely interrupted me or vomited on your tables once this whole set. If I could leave you with a little piece of advice, you know, life's very short. You guys should play more video games. It'd be really disappointing if you flip your car over in the other lane and you haven't played Mr. Mosquito yet. So, I've been Joe Buckley. Thank you very much for having me. I'm out.
All right. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was Joe Buckley's 30-minute stand-up special. Okay, so roughly, what was the time on that?
First thing though, before I share with that, Joe was supposed to come up with a name for his special. Joe, did you do that?
That's right. I forgot.
Okay,
Oh,
Joe
I did not.
Joe didn't. So I would rather hear from everybody else what you think Joe's special should be called. Does anybody have an idea?
Yeah.
Trainwreck pending.
What did he say?
Trainwreck pending.
Okay. Okay. Trainwreck pending. All right. Who's next? Who's got another one?
This is not for you. The comedy of Joe Buckley.
Okay. I'll jot that one down. I'll take it into consideration.
That is honestly not a bad name, though, Joe, for your style of comedy. That is actually kind of funny. It's meta.
Okay.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss.
All right.
Better luck next time.
Anybody else?
Rough draft. We're working on it. It gets better from here.
Okay.
The full text. Love it.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to take a stab at it? All right.
I got nothing else.
Ryan,
I really like that. This is not for you.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Okay, Ryan, we are at, and now, so I was pretty liberal early on, and I would let the timer run when people were chiming in and getting in the way. And then I started stopping every time we were not doing anything related to comedy. Even with that, we're only at 22 minutes and 27 seconds.
Okay, so I'm a little short. I'm a little bit light. So that's not a bad time.
Yeah, there's a good name for the special coming up short.
Yeah, coming up short.
Yeah.
A little bit
light.
light.
22-minute, 30-minute comedy special.
Yeah, Joe's half-hour comedy hour.
Oh,
How about this? I'll discount it on Bandcamp. Instead of the normal $5, it's gonna be $4.50.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
We're going to band camp.
Joe,
half a joke.
One time I put a flute in my pussy hole.
Hey, remember that
camp.
joke from 20 years ago?
The
You never
reason,
watched
Joe,
the movie.
Yeah. The reason, Joe, I said this is not for you is not necessarily because of the content of the comedy, i.e., the ejaculation, constant jokes about dogs and whatnot.
Okay.
It's also because there's a lot of references that people aren't going to get.
Well, I did cut some shit out. I cut some shit out that I thought the general audience wouldn't get. I cut some Evangelion stuff. I cut some Christian stuff.
I mean, you have to tailor the act for the audience. Now, let's say you were doing some stand-up at an anime convention or something like that. Then, yes, you're going to throw in your Evangelion stuff. You're going to throw in your Pog stuff, I guess, the video game stuff, because that audience is specifically there for, those subjects. And so your comedy there is going to hit. Just like if you were doing stand-up at a horror convention, then you can throw in your Kane Hodder jokes and your Joe Dante references, etc.
What if Freddy Krueger had a wet dream? Would that be a nightmare?
That joke is going to play better if you're doing stand-up for some reason at a horror convention than it is when you're just doing a stand-up act in somewhere. Now,
I do understand that.
I would suggest.
Sorry, Ryan. To touch on your point, Joe, I've given you a piece of advice in regards to your comedy because you've written stuff, I've read it, and I've helped you rewrite it. And I don't know if you will remember this, but a big point I made is you tend to just lump 3 subjects into one joke, but 2 of those 3 subjects have nothing to do with the actual joke or the punchline. You're just using it as a random way to get. It's like your brain when you're coming up with something in the moment. You try to jump from this to this to this just to get to the thing that you really want to talk about because that's where the joke is. And you did that many times over throughout this. Like
I like to go rapid fire. I like to go.
That's not rapid.
Zoom.
It's not. I'm not coming down on it. It's not rapid fire. You're writing like you're thinking, and I think you need to change the way you think about this. If you want to talk about the naughty stuff, that's fine, but create segues that actually get you there. Don't go from So I'm at the camp, and then we're blowing up our pants, and then I'm playing the flute, and then also McDonald's was there, and then come. Like
you're doing Cosby. I'm at the McDonald's.
Now you see, everybody, when they put the mayonnaise on the chicken sandwich, you gotta get real angry and scrape it off and still eat it anyways. I'm sorry, that was dumb.
You gotta bring it back. You gotta bring it back to the McDonald's.
But that's a good point that Tyler had, which is that's also, it's if you're going to talk about a subject that is maybe not widely known, like the furries thing. I only know furries because you've thrown it in my face a bunch of times, but I don't know the ins and outs. If you're going to do an open mic somewhere where people have never heard of you, they don't know anything about furries, it's fine to do the furries joke, but you need to give some explanations. Hey, anybody here familiar with furries? And then, you're going to get plenty of people. No, what the fuck's that? You throw it out real quick, a real brief explanation so people get the gist, and therefore, okay, now we're in on it, and then you can do the joke.
And that's a good way to even shoehorn a few other jokes in. Like you could milk just the explanation of what a furry is for like 2-3 jokes right there.
Okay, I could do 2.5 minutes on the Zoo Satum leaks.
No,
I don't know what that is, but I believe you can.
Do you know what made Jerry
horrifying.
Seinfeld $1 billion, Joe? His comedy is relatable.
I thought it was his religion.
It's accessible to anyone. And yours is the opposite of that. It's esoteric, and also it's not funny. But that's something separate.
Mine's more NC-17 compared to Seinfeld's PG.
But this is my second point. The stuff that is your edgier humor, you're not getting a laugh. The Sweet Boy Bubby stuff that hits for me. I like that.
Stay at Home Son. That was
Stay at Home Son was probably one of the best written jokes.
That
was a genuine laugh, and that's a good strong start.
Like 3 minutes, you had me going, and then it was dog come, alligator come, my dad's coming.
And
it's not working for me because I know you're just saying a word to try to. That's cheap, It's
Well, Joe,
Your cheap shots, low hanging fruit Buckley. We've seen them before.
We've got some fans here. Fans, are you guys? It's not going to hurt my feelings if you don't. But do any of you guys listen regularly to the Man with No Brain? I'm sorry, with Malevolent movie episodes.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
I've actually just started
Listen to
watching
all of
them,
them.
so I'm going through the back catalog.
Okay.
From time to time.
Well, in the recent Fight for Summer Frights, in editing, I've realized Joe, he hangs his hat on this bit that's not even a bit, where somebody will say something that he has no knowledge of. He doesn't get it, but then he'll say, "Oh, I know, it's frightening." And like you just keep saying this thing and it's not landing, but you keep doing it. And I think it's because you don't listen to yourself. Because now you have documented proof of an example of you doing comedy and you can watch it back. And I think you're going to realize how few, and I'll bump everybody's audio up so you can hear them, even the fans. I'm not just going to put like me and Nick front and center heckling you. And you can hear them not laughing when you just say the word "come." So I think again, we're not censoring you. It's just might not be funny. Now, if you want to walk into a room, if all the guys at that comic shop just think you're the funniest thing going, "Dick, come," that's going to get old in a couple months because they're going to realize, oh, that's all you've got. It was just like us when you first started hanging out with us. Everything you said was funny for like 6 weeks. And then that plane, crashed.
Into the towers.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that, but sure. But another critique I have for you is that you did two jokes that are very similar. One was about the furries and Tony the Tiger. And the other one was about the butt cracks and Magic the Gathering.
Disney.
Both things you have talked about a lot, so they're not necessarily fresh, but you added to the furry Tony the Tiger thing, because most of us know about it because you either told us or we know that type of shit on the internet, but you added it with their gape or whatever, or it's gape or whatever. That was funny. Now the crackgate thing, your punchline was something crackgate. Well, yeah, it was called crackgate. You're not coining that term. The whole time, all the headlines were crackgate. The funny thing was when you said the funny thing you said though, which wasn't your punchline, at least the final line of the punch, was the spread it wide open. That should have been the punchline because that's the thing you're adding to the story. But really, you were oh, nothing beats the crackgate, so crackgate. Well,
I wanted to give some I wanted to give people some knowledge about that whole kind of thing, about the legitimacy of when they were a big story.
That's why you said the whole bit about it being in publications. That was fine. You could have said it was called crackgate. I wonder why. I mean, maybe it's because they spread that thing wide open, or that's just a bad example. But at least structurally, it's a little bit stronger. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody wants to be on the outside of a joke, and especially when they're going to see somebody on stage. And so if you're doing Joe, and this is kind of something you've done for a long time, Joe, is you think because the circles you run in know all about X, Y, and Z, that everybody knows about X, Y, and Z. And that's not necessarily the case. I mean, let's just take a movie, because Malevolent movies, let's just take from a movie perspective. In the world of slasher fans and horror movie fans, of course, everyone knows the ending to Sleepaway Camp. Everybody knows about, Jason and that's super mainstream. But the outside world, you go to Kroger and the average person there, good chance they've never even fucking heard of Sleepaway Camp. And to
what's
us,
this about Jason? Is he going to help me find the beats? I need beats. For my beet cake.
Joe, you don't have to be on right now. It's okay.
I don't and we're like, what do you mean you didn't Sleepaway Camp? Because we're so used to the circles we run in being movie people that's a no-brainer. But it's sometimes hard to pull back and realize that that's still pretty niche. It may be real mainstream within our little group, but it's still niche in the outer world. So maybe that's not the best thing. I'm not going to go on stage and make Sleepaway Camp jokes for a random audience. It's probably like, I've never fucking heard of that. Some slasher movie from 1980. You know what I mean? So when you start throwing, with video game consoles and you start throwing away, there's going to be a large group that get that depending on their age, but there may be just as many people in their 50s and above who are like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. And when they get confused, they tune out. When you throw sometimes, you can still make that joke, but find a way to make that joke accessible for everybody. Because you want everybody to laugh at it.
I've always thought that some of the audience can be the joke. Like sometimes
Well,
that
then
can
you-
work.
What do you
But
mean?
then you're entering a whole other realm. So if you want to do that,
I don't even know what that means. What does that mean?
I think he's like Andy Kaufman,
Uh,
where the audience is the goof. The audience not getting the joke is what's funny.
So I
Yeah,
think
that's a whole other world, though.
I think
if we're
Joe
gonna-
tends to blend. When he says comedy, that just means Joe. Like, comedy is me everywhere. But really, Joe, you hanging out in Tad's Discord versus you on The Man with No Brain versus you over at a local restaurant or brewery doing some jokes are three very different things. Because your audience is different. The people that are interacting with you are different. I think you need to, like Ryan's main point is, you need to tailor what you're doing to your audience. Now, yes,
Read the room.
We asked you to do it for us, and you didn't know that you were going to be surprised by this legion of 7 other people. But the idea here is that, like, the reason why I asked you to do this is I wanted you to actually write some jokes down, and you did, and I'm proud of you. So good,
Yeah.
good
Thank
work.
you. Thank you very much.
So
Yeah.
either way, you deserve a kudos for that. Proud of you for doing that. But if you really want to take it seriously, you should heed some advice, hone what you're doing, and then test it in the wild. So you've heard from us. You've heard from us for the last 5 years. You're tired of hearing from us. Let's hear from the fans and see what they have to say.
Okay.
So, Joe, I'm going to let you lead a round table with the 5 other people in this room. We've got Finn, Morgan, Old Man Higgins, Real SC, and Chris. So why don't you go ahead and ask them some questions?
All right. So yeah, I'll see. I guess I'll see what Finn thinks first.
Okay. First of all, sorry for interjecting on your jokes at times, but
Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
okay. It wasn't really something that would make me laugh. Your material.
Okay.
At best, it would get a grin out of me, but that's sadly it. Like, I know sometimes you can be funny. Well, you aren't around a lot on the Discord, on Tad's Discord, actually. Whenever you were there, you actually pulled out some good jokes. You actually made people laugh. But in this instance, I don't know what happened. But
sorry, Joe.
just a decline.
And a lot of things I've noticed were pulled from, like, episodes you've done with Tad or Malevolent movies. For example, you just take an empty cup at the movie theater and just reuse it. That's advice you've given to people. So
Seen them do it.
You have seen them do it.
They have. They filmed me doing it. They filmed me doing that.
I had to stop you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Finn. That was some good advice.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. I'll see what Old Man Higgins has to say.
Hey, Joe, we'll start with the good and then we'll get to the bad. There was a couple jokes you had that the delivery sold me. I mean, the joke aside, it was the delivery that made me laugh like a Scooby-Doo villain. For example, the "it's gaped." Tyler already stole my thunder, but I was just like, all right, furries. But then we're like, it's gaped. I heard Tony the Tiger in my head, and I heard him say it's gaped, and that was a genuine laugh. That you got me. The second one was again the delivery. Ouch, splinters, you motherfucker. It's like there's nothing. It was one of those I shouldn't have laughed, but goddamn if I didn't. A couple of them were damn clever. The camp counselor with the wet dream, was that wordplay or was that just happy coincidence?
I think it's a little bit word. Yeah, like
it was happy coincidence.
Like no.
It was a little bit of a hoo ha hee hoo.
I do love wordplay. OB City, that was good. I like that. OB City, that's good. And a relatable one, the left blinker, the boomer, they know how to get porn. That was good. You got me.
Okay, thank you.
Now, it's been said in jokes, I was the only person who got the Heinz ketchup joke. Only because I heard the Six Flags episode, which was fantastic, by the way. You know, when you and Tad are back and forth, that was good. But the Heinz ketchup, I was like, I know what that's from. Wait a minute. No. But no one else is going to get that. You can't assume that everyone's going to get the in jokes. So it's been said before more eloquently than I can, but you have to keep your jokes for a general audience more relatable. In jokes are only going to be gotten by the same 7 people. And I'll always be one of the 7.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
That's all I have to say. Good job.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I'll see what Chris has to say.
Thank you. I was just thinking because you mentioned how I was like Pinkie Pie was your favorite and all, with her being the element of laughter and everything, and kind of got me thinking to the Emerald Lion improv.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking like it, and I feel like your style of comedy can work pretty well if you kind of like try to limit yourself in a way, just because. And like how everyone always kind of says your punchlines always kind of just like come or kind of like a dog penis or something.
Yeah,
And it's
salty
like,
dog cum.
And that was like one of the reasons why I kind of liked MOP is just the fact that like they can't just do what Family Guy does, where it's just like the joke is just hey like bone or cum, and they actually have to kind of be a bit clever with things, be a bit more sincere, and that's like kind of what I felt without the Emerald Line play, and I could just remember a lot of the stuff that you did there just had me cracking up, like with the I wasn't having the I think it was he had like a recorder or something like that at the bar. Like that one had me cracking up. And then with like eating the lobster, even though you don't like lobster, and I was just cracking up at work, and everyone was looking at me like I was insane. And
I think it's time for part 2 of the Emerald Lion.
Oh yeah,
that could be fun. That could be fun.
And then also just kind of doing relatable stuff, like with Old Man Higgins mentioning the Six Flag episode. And God, I think I've listened to that one 4 times already. And just, I mean, for people who've gone to theme parks, I mean, having to deal with like kind of like a fat person in line, it's kind of like holding everyone up or complaining or having a kid screaming their head off or something, or just employees just leaving a bunch of trash around. I mean, that's kind of stuff that's like relatable and all. So kind of get like the audience invested. And
No, I get. Yeah, I probably should have put like a Six Flag thing in there. Like, how they stole my $65.
I remember that one.
Well, thank you, Chris. That's some very earnest advice.
Yeah.
All right, I'll see what SC has to say.
Okay, so some of these jokes were pretty funny. Some of these got me, but like the main problem I kind of had with the set is some of these jokes, it felt like you tried too hard to make them funny. That's all I really have to say.
Okay. All right, cool. Thank you. All right, and yeah, I'll see what Morgan has to say.
Yeah, I mean, your jokes are pretty rapid fire, which it can work. I was actually surprised that like, what was it, 20 minutes of this had passed. But I think with some of your jokes, they might work a little better with some build up. Like, with the furry jokes, those could work with a bit of build up. Or I can't remember what the other one was. The Pogs joke. That's it.
Okay.
Doing a bit of explanation there, and then like, someone had said before, and like I think this was even said in like the Pat episode of The Man with No Brain, like your jokes are good. Like that thing with the old folks can't use computers, it's kind of like not being able to use a car sort of thing. That was pretty good. I guess that's a bad example though, because like that would have been good on its own, but then again, the whole like, oh well, my grandpa knows how to use porn sort of thing. One was actually pretty funny, but no, there are definitely moments where you add on that thing at the end where that unnecessary shock humor on at the end when like it could be funny without.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, no.
Joe, I came for the stand-up comedy, but I stayed to watch you listen with intent. This is a side of you I have not seen in a long time, buddy. The fact that you are sitting here and you're actually taking in critique. I think that's great. I'm very proud of you right now.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to disregard what the fans have to say. I mean, I try to listen.
Okay. Don't disregard what me, Ryan, Nick, and Trevor are saying either, but...
We're only your best friends in the world, but...
Yeah, but yeah, I like this. I like this little setup here. I like these jokes. That's all. I like them.
Thank you.
And the best, all of them. the truly first curated bit of stand-up you've done is when you wrote some jokes, and then I sat down with you and I tried to help you kind of put some structure behind it. Now, I'm not going to say I'm not a stand-up comedian, so I was basically just trying to help you tell your story in a more linear and coherent way. And the best part of that stand-up bit, it was like 5 minutes roughly, was the last joke that hinged on you saying the naughty thing you've been wanting to say for 5 minutes, which was, the gay porno Simpsons joke. That was the best joke of the thing. You ended on that. It crushed because you went up there and yes, you used some foul language, but you weren't talking cum and dicks and things like that. you just said naughty words and you went up there with your little bowl cut and your sweatshirt. And so people weren't expecting it. So you kind of, you had them like on their tiptoes, and then you kind of guided them through the 4.5 minutes. You got to that last joke, and then you knocked them out. Yeah. So more like that. Now, obviously, if you're going for 30 minutes, you can pepper in a couple more of the real rough stuff or the naughty stuff. But you got to surprise them. You got to surprise them with it. But all in all, I'm impressed, Joe.
Yeah. To add to what Tyler's saying is and you did this a little bit with but don't underestimate your appearance.
Use it. Play to your strengths.
When you walk on stage and you're just wearing your jeans and your purple hoodie or whatever, and your bowl cut and your glasses, I'm not making fun of you. People are going to laugh anyway. They're going to laugh before you say a goddamn word. At a comedy club, because a lot of these guys are, they're hip and they're trying to, and then, all right, next guy, Joe Buckley, and you walk up there, unassuming Bubby with the haircut, they're going to think it's a bit. I feel they're going to think it's a bit, and then it's not a bit, and then they settle in. Okay, well, and you start telling your good boy Bubby things, and yes, and then when you start getting filthy, it is anti what you look like.
Yeah,
you get up there looking like Andrew Dice Clay, they're going to expect Andrew Dice Clay. You get up there looking like
you guys want to talk about dog cum?
What's
you can lick the red top like a big ice cream cone.
But even when you're confident, Joe, to Ryan's point, you are not self-aware of what you're doing with your own body. So I can picture you every time you're going to go in front of a microphone. You know what you do? You put both of your arms straight down to your side and you tap the sides of your legs, and you look above the heads of the audience. You don't look them in the eyes. You look like at the lights. You go from left to right to left to right. You're slapping your legs like a penguin. Like, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? And then jokes. That's funny. That's funny. Unintentionally, but it's funny.
Yeah.
I can walk up with my big Cyterian t-shirt with like the big hole near the armpit.
It works.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, because it's different than a lot of stand-up comics, and I would recommend, and maybe you are doing this, I don't think so, watching a lot of stand-up comedy. It's all over YouTube. You can watch new acts, you can subscribe to channels, and just see what's going on and how everybody's different and how their approach is. And and the more you do these sort of things, even if you're doing it in your room in front of a mirror, you're going to get more comfortable with the sort of casual, hey, storytelling aspect of it. Right now, because you're fresh with it, it's like boom, 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 bit. If you kind of segue into these things and learn how to be casual with it and learn how to roll with the things, it's just going to get better and better. You're absolutely not a lost cause.
No.
Despite some of my misgivings towards some of your material, I think we've always thought there's a lot of potential with you, Joe. Obviously, it's why we do all this. So, I think it's a regardless of how I feel about some of the jokes, I think it's a very good start.
This is a great segue, Ryan. This is a great segue. So for the fans on the episode, next weekend, there is a arts festival in our area, and I'm technically in charge. It involves paintings, photography, a bunch of stuff, but I'm in charge of the film side. Well, you'll never guess what was submitted. Sit Boys was submitted to this film festival. Sit Boys is an official selection of this festival. Yes, I'm not, and I would love to have been able to say that Sit Boys is just the worst that was submitted, therefore it needs to be excluded, but it was not the worst thing that
probably top 5.
So you just skated in. But so Ryan is going to be in the midst of a move. So Joe is going to be kind of left to his own devices. I want to get him man on the street. This is a 3-day festival, and on Friday there is a kickoff event in the evening over at a super high-end development, housing development, where all the rich people from Chicago come down to live by the river. And it's on a floating pavilion. There's steak, there's champagne, and fucking Joe and Tad have invites to this fucking thing. So we are going to put some earbuds in Joe's ears. Nick, probably Trevor, will be walking with Joe up and down the streets. We need to get Joe a black turtleneck because he's got to critique this art. But
fingerless gloves.
But what would you like Joe to do at this 3-day event? What do you want to hear him on an episode of The Man with No Brain? What do you want to hear him talk about?
I want
all
to
at
see him
once.
interview people. Like
Yeah.
I want Joe
Yeah.
Buckley walking up to the average Joe and be like, "Hey, what do you think about this?"
We have been begging him to do that for years.
Please, Joe, do it.
So,
Yeah,
is the people that are on this floating barge, are they people that have?
Oh, hoity-toity. Hoity-toity.
But
So
are
this,
they going to be going to any of the events? Is there any possibility that they have
Yes.
watched the films?
They'll probably be in Sit Boys.
They will not have seen it ahead of time because it's the same night as the opening day. And Sit Boys, the first screening of Sit Boys, there's 2, is after it. So the films start at noon on Friday, and then the art's available. There's live music portion. There's a market portion. But all of the festival directors are going to be there. There are art critics coming to the area to judge the rest of the art.
This is
They're
what we
going to be
need to
there.
do. We need to have not so much like a statement, but like a prepared, I guess, pitch for Sit Boys for Joe and Tad to kind of go off on and kind of to describe what their work is that they're exhibiting to people to make it
all what Sit Boys is. Is that what you're getting at?
I mean, let's
No. It's
let's
like anti-art. It's like
let's
an
polish
anti.
that turd and let's throw in some buzzwords to make it sound like something that has commentary or meaning or purpose
Well, again, I mean,
like worth.
Again, this is Sit Boys is a very avant-garde film. Some of you may not understand it.
Avant-garde.
Yeah, avant-garde. I mean, we filmed using a lot of like the Dogum 95 rules. I mean, I went very cinema verite.
Dagum 95.
Yeah.
You used only
Isn't
available
that like
light?
the Nintendo 64?
Yeah.
What's the name of the news crew? The crew in Benevolent Buckley, WQVT or something like
Yes.
that.
Yeah, QVT 9.
Put him and Tad in those shirts and have them walk up to these hoity-toits and just like interview them. Be like, hey, we're with this, we're with this news group. Tell us about what you're doing, and just listen to these fart sniffers just wax their own carrots about what they're doing. And then, Tad and Joe put their own spin on it. Because when you put Tad and Joe together, god damn, like it or not, it's funny.
But Joe, are you willing to do that?
Yeah. Are you and Ted both? You have.
I'd have to see
have
with
it
Tad.
in
I'm
you.
not sure.
No, that's
But
a
I mean,
no,
you-
Joe. Just say
Are you
no.
willing to be funny and commit to your craft?
I mean, it'll really depend. I don't really want to go like full Sam Hyde with like a GoPro like on my forehead, like poking people in the back.
Are you willing
trying
to
get,
be
like,
slightly uncomfortable for the sake of making people laugh and being an entertainer and a comedian?
It'll depend on who's around me. If I've got a crew
No.
with me, that's fine.
No, there's not going to be a crew. There's not going to be a crew. It's just you and Tad at best. Because
I
no
mean,
one else is invited
imagine
to
having
the
like
part.
my Zoom recorder hooked to your belt line, and you've got a condenser mic, and you can hold it up to them yourself. You could talk into it. That way, that is less conspicuous than like shoving a camera in somebody's face. They'd probably be more comfortable chatting with you. And like Megan said, wearing the shirts, that's the sell.
Yeah,
we
that's
made
true.
legitimate shirts for the purpose of selling that show.
Yeah, we're not asking you. I personally don't want to see you and Tad go up and
He just
and
want to
do some-
see you.
Well,
there's that too.
I could bring a loose package of hot dogs into the festival with me, and I could start asking people, "Are these your dogs, bro? Are these your
it might
dogs,
be-
bro?"
No, it might be funny if you're just eating, but they're going to be hors d'oeuvres there, so you don't need to
eating
worry
a
about
package of raw hot dogs.
eat that shit in a sloppy manner.
Oh yeah, Tad, they got whores devour.
Yeah. Where are all these whores at?
And what are they devouring?
Yeah, my
But-
cock, my
I
cock,
mean, oh my god.
Okay,
my
all right.
thick
This-
cock.
He has
Stop it.
taken nothing in.
All right.
Stop it!
I
now,
mean, I-
God, I'm talking to you like you're my dog trying to eat its own shit outside.
Don't,
Stop it! That's no good. No.
don't wear yourself
It's
out.
just as
dude.
Get
entertaining.
that
You got
locust
the-
out of your mouth. Get that cicada out of your
Yeah.
mouth, boy.
But what I'm saying is, I don't think we're asking you to go be goofy. I think just you, Joe Buckley, talking to somebody that is outside of your realm, and they're outside of your realm, you're outside of them, and you're all in this social setting. So you've already got this. You're already accepted. In other words, you're
yeah.
part of this group.
There's no way I could get thrown out.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not saying go, and we're not saying go up to them and be like, "Hey, ball sack." We're saying just talk to them and see if you can get a conversation going with some old banker, and then if you can turn the conversation to Sit Boys or Benevolent Buckley show or whatever else is playing at the festival. I think that in and of itself will be entertaining.
Yeah.
And we're not asking you to run in there and do Tom Green bits.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll ask.
I mean,
Tad
I would
if
love
he's
that, but
down.
I know
Joe, you don't
can't.
have to
I'm
ask
not
Tad
asking for that.
because you could
What
do
do
it
you
on your own. You could do it on your
Oh,
own.
I could.
Yeah, but so this is where we've talked about you in phase 2 because we're in phase 2. You have to be decisive, and so if it's a no, just say no now. Otherwise, the fans, they're going to go to the Discord. They're going to spread this news. Joseph Robert Buckley and Tad, Horatio Becker, whatever he calls himself.
Robert as well. They both have the same.
They're going to go out there and they're going to get the masses involved in the show. And then if you don't, it's a bummer. So you know in your heart of hearts whether or not you're capable of doing this.
And I'm going to be an observer of this episode because I can't be on this episode.
We'll probably have to do a follow-up episode where Ryan listens to that to see how shitty it is.
Yeah. So I want to see it as a fan. Don't let me down, Joe. Don't let me down.
Oh, okay.
So do you think you can do it?
I think I can do it. Yeah. Like I'm just trying to go through like the logistics of it. I mean, yeah, I could probably like
there's no logistics. It's literally just
care of the logistics for you, buddy.
Yeah, you're free.
I'm thinking of like what I would be saying. I'll probably like go up to like artists and just kind of like ask about like their shit, and stuff like that.
That's fine.
That's fine. And again, we're not asking you to go up and be goofy guy. This isn't a Tom Green thing or an Andy Kaufman thing. It's
Joe. Do you watch? It's Channel 5 News now, but all gas, no brakes.
No.
It's this guy that Callahan. I don't know what his first name is. But basically, he just shows up at usually it's like some kind of riot or some weird event or convention and just interviews people. He doesn't really, he participates, but he doesn't lead them on. Like, he's not egging them.
Yeah, he's just a straight man.
He just asks them questions and he just lets people talk. And that's the funny part. Now, obviously, you don't want to just ape what somebody else does, but people want to.
Also, he's, I'm sure he's like interacting with like more weird people than just
sure, but you can't assume to know who these people are.
Joe,
we don't.
Anybody that's going to talk
me.
into a random microphone or to a camera, there's probably something a little bit off about them.
People don't get much weirder and like off-putting than the people of Ottawa, Illinois. It is
especially the art people of this area.
Go pick that fruit because it is just a perfect storm of fucking weird shit. These people in an art thing that they don't understand or care about, but they're not gonna let you know that they're gonna go all in on this, and you should too.
I could interview.
Funny. Anyways, the one thing that you completely underestimate, Joe, is your ability to let the jokes roll off of you. So you just you walk into a situation, you say, I have to make the jokes, but you being the straight man is also funny, and it's funny because of you. Like,
I could try doing it without any jokes. Yeah.
But that's the thing.
Don't do any jokes.
Don't do anything. We just want you to go talk to people. And hearing you, Joe Buckley, I'm looking in your room right now. Boxes of magic cards, a shirt with your own fucking face on it. The 3 movies you were in the background. You're so full of your own stinky farts that you just going up and saying, hey, so could you explain your art to me? And then they say, well, what did you think? And you say, I don't know. It looks like dog cum. Sorry, I fucking did it. It looks like you have some inner turmoil. Like, that would be funny.
Yeah.
Even them saying
get sick looking at that. Put us down.
It's just like Blair Witch Project.
I don't need to see all your roddies. I know.
You walking up to anybody and they say, no, I don't really want to talk about it. And then even if you don't,
I'm going to laugh at that.
It's just something new at the very end of the day. So don't worry about being funny.
You're not the punchline here. You're not the thing. You shouldn't have to feel like you're embarrassed. I know generally you've got a weird relationship with the spotlight because you need it to survive. But also, if it's on you too long, you're going to shrivel up like a raisin. Yeah. And we got to find a right balance. But you know that you're the funny person in that situation. If you go up to a stranger, just some random person off the street in Ottawa, Illinois, you're going to be the funny one. Even if you are doing goofs, you're doing something embarrassing. If you did just start screaming dog cum, you wouldn't. Now, I'm not saying do that. Please don't do that.
It's very avant-garde.
Until you leave, right before you leave, just yell it.
Yeah. We'll save that for the end of the evening. But
that's a grand finale.
You don't need to worry about the embarrassment. We're not going to shame you for doing these things that we're asking you to do.
No,
as I'm walking out the door, like the door of the reception, I'll spank my ass a bunch of times, and then I'll yell out, "Who wants to fuck this?"
And then Joe walks off the floating pavilion, forgetting it's on the water, and then watching Joe thrash around in the water. I'm wet! Dorothy, you bitch! I'm wet!
I'm hoping this whole thing turns into like a Poseidon adventure situation.
Oh no!
Where Joe is on this water thing, and there's something happens, and then Joe and all these people have to band together for their own survival.
Now, Joe, the Poseidon Adventure is a disaster film that revolves around a boat
it's a little
sinking.
bit like Titanic. Okay, sure.
Yeah, it's about
I'll be like, what I'll say is, I'm the big baby. I'm the big baby. Now I get to go on the lifeboat.
But Joe,
I'm the big baby. I'm the big baby.
Okay, but Joe having to work together with all these people he doesn't know. You guys are having to ration the whores divorce, and maybe it actually turns into uninvited. Tad thinks he's a cat because of fear, and
comes out of your mouth.
Yeah,
I pop him back in my mouth.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, hey, I don't want to keep the fans any longer. You guys, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we need to get the fans more involved in this. And honestly, Joe, here's what I think we should do, and give it like 3 months or something. But I think we should do a round 2 of this. New jokes again. I think that's the challenge. Don't rewrite those. Maybe keep a couple and just work on the structure and reciting them a little bit better. But do new comedy. Maybe we'll double the number of people in here. Maybe we'll get 20 people in here listening.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I think we'll just keep we'll keep upping the ante.
Hey, there it is.
I want to be humping the ante.
Yeah,
okay.
I know you do.
Yeah, a little bit of
Don't
incest
let your
there.
auntie hear it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's so rough to do incest jokes now because of the whole thing that happened, but I still do them.
The whole thing with your family?
No,
incident?
Chris Chan.
You see again, Joe. Like, why would that be my first thought? I don't think about Chris Chan every waking moment.
It went viral.
It's not that big.
This is an example of what I was talking about, Joe. It's huge within your circle and your echo chamber. But if I walk out my apartment right now, knock on the neighbor's door, and say, "Hey, what did you think about that Chris Chan?" He's going, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah.
If he doesn't, I'll run and lock my door. But
it was hot for 3 days. Went on Tucker Carlson talked about it. It's over because you know why it's over, Joe? It got way too real for most of the world. It got way too real because there's nothing funny about what took place there. And so now the joke.
I could probably write a couple jokes.
No.
Okay.
You're going to get booted off, and old man Higgins is in the house.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Let me up on stage, my boys. I can do it. Get out of that chair, Joe. I need it.
Okay, this is my favorite chair, though. This is, I lean back.
Oh.
That's and here's the thing, Joe. Old man Higgins on The Man with No Brain, he's going to actually get to hear his participation.
Joe's not getting the laughs, so he's got to show us his Grundle. Remember Grundle, guys? Grundle was funny.
Yeah.
Now, Joe, if you got on stage and you pulled your pants down and spread your legs up and there was like a sock puppet there, that would be funny. And it was called Grundle, and you were able to make your ass talk.
Oh, there he goes.
Look at that hole in that sock.
And his balls were missing.
Classic Joe.
Yeah, he didn't want to hear me give him trouble for not putting out the 3 episodes with Old Man Higgins.
Is this just like a trick he does now because we all acted at one time?
This is some shoe nice shit, Joe. This is shoe nice.
He's doing an avant-garde performance of the Poseidon Adventure right now.
Yeah, this is anti-comedy.
Yeah.
I'm back up.
Joe's the iceberg.
Yeah.
Don't let go, Joe.
Now that's funny. If there was a version of Titanic where Joe had to hold on to his fucking lazy boy in the water, I would love that.
There's no reason we can't just throw him in the fucking river.
Hey, well,
I don't like the water. I don't like the water.
We know
Hey.
you do. We've got footage of it.
next spring when things get not that it's cold now, but we're getting there. Next spring though, I think all of us should get together in person, and we should do that where you just
Polar
hang.
plunge.
Yeah, that thing where you just hang and see who can hang the longest, from a pole or whatever, like pull up bar thing.
Oh my god.
Like
I'm not going to win that one. I don't think I'm going to win that
who
one.
lasts the longest.
My hands are very delicate. I've got magic playing hands.
Last the cum. Last the cum. All right. Well, we've got another episode of Malevolent Movies we got to prepare for. So, guys, thanks for coming on the show. Joe, say goodbye to your fans.
Yeah,
wish
thanks,
them well.
Apologize to your fans.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, you guys, for coming on. It was a blast having you. And I'd say to
Apologize
all
to your
the
fan spouses for the time you've taken from them.
well, old man Higgins is a very, very busy man. He is married. He's happily married, and he has to take time away from his lovely wife to do this kind of thing.
Yep, just like Valentine's Day of last year.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, yeah, it'd be nice for that stuff to come out.
I'm still working on it. I've been very, very busy this last 2 weeks. I've been moving a comic shop.
Joe, I have faith in you. Come on, just get your act together.
Sure. I have to.
Damn it.
I love
God,
that.
that
People love to laugh.
I don't think I've ever seen a serious
Dude, he
face.
looks like Tad
Holy
right now.
shit.
There's something about Joe that looks like Tad. I can see the Becker-Buckley merging.
Oh yeah, the genes are strong in that small group.
I have to still edit the Passing the Buck episodes, and then they will be ready to come out. And that's the whole up right now.
2023.
They're gonna come out post-mortem because you're not gonna do them before you're dead.
Yeah. Make sure somebody has the access to those if in case, Joe, you shed that mortal coil, so we can get those out.
Okay, for one last treat for the fans.
Yes.
But speaking of the fans, the wider fans out there, make sure you, if you're listening to The Man with No Brain, make sure you tune into Malevolent Movies. It's a MSK3 style kind of show where we riff on bad indie horror movies. Well, a little bit.
MSK3? Mystery Science K3000.
Yeah.
Yep. You can, if you want a lovely t-shirt like I've got on right now, you can go check it out on our Threadless store. We've got a bunch of new designs. And yeah, make sure if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Hit that big bell. Are you done?
Oh God. Joe, you're right.
if
Using
you-
the fart soundboard is funny.
Yeah, I've just been doing it for a couple weeks now. It's
I got
fine
that
for
idea
other
from
people
you.
to take
Thank you.
Joe. Yeah, no problem.
If there's one thing we've learned, it's okay to steal jokes.
But I've never done it myself. But I think it's okay.
All right.
I mean,
Never done it himself.
All right, Joe. We got to take off because I got to get ready. I've got a lot of prep I have to do. But can you end us on one more joke? Give us one more big good joke.
Okay.
I'm not gonna fart. I promise.
Okay, thank you very much. All right. So growing up in Grand Ridge, there wasn't really a whole lot to do. We had a gas station and a library at one point. The gas station burned down, and I didn't know how to read, so there wasn't really too much for me there. But I'd watch a lot of TV, and my mother was always getting on me, like, I better not catch you watching The Simpsons. Don't you be watching The Simpsons anymore. I don't want to see you doing the Bartman in this house. But little did she know is I would go downstairs, turn the TV volume down real low, and I would just watch grown men fuck on Showtime.
I feel like I've heard this before.
Yeah.
Well, I've done that one before.
Say
That's
that
all.
every time I talk to Joe.
We're back to the well, but
That's all right.
It's a nice well. It's a very nice well. There's no wet bitches in there like the ring, like some kind of Japanese demon.
No, but I do think that some of the
Well.
cow fecal matter runoff has gotten in the well, and you're just drinking it.
Yeah.
Well,
that could be. That could be. I mean, Coca-Cola has poisoned most of the water in this country. So
It's like
Let's one more
90% backwash.
Yeah. Yeah, backside wash from the cow.
I have not been washing my asshole in the well. It's never
So
happened.
Joe, a cow is a
Dig a
large
new one.
a cow is a large bovine animal. It's used for beef. It's used for milk, depending on
I'm out.
what kind of cow it is. Okay.
Yeah. No, I understand. And if they're just the right height, you don't need a bucket to fuck them. I've learned that from a documentary.
Fuck up.
Let's dig a new well, Joyce. Just
Stop killing comedy, boy.
All right. Thanks for coming on, guys. Thanks for coming on.
Guys.
I love
Thanks for having us.
Everybody have a good day.
Thank you. I had a good time.
Thank
I
you,
really
thank
did.
you.
Thanks,
Good job,
Higgins.
Joe.
Yeah,
SC,
Thank you.
Morgan,
Pleasure
Chris,
to be here.
Finn.
I guess.
All right. Joe, just clap your ass. No, your ass. Clap your ass.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to pull my pants
Let
up.
me
My
see
pants
that
are
ass.
full.
Pull your pants.
Well, I figured this is how this would end.
This is not how they normally.
Yeah, let's see it. Clap it, Joe.
That's not
Yeah.
what it's doing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.